Okay, you guys, so I'm back to do my favorite episodes of Charmed Season 4. A little disclaimer, this season on up, we're going to have episodes that are two-parters. So I'm going to include those episodes as one episode, just to let you guys know. Also, again, these are going to be in no particular order, so let's get into it. The first episode on my list is Charmed Again, Part 1 and 2. This episode is really, really emotional because we get the girls back with the loss of Prue, and we see what they're going through. Holly did an amazing job portraying Piper emotionally this episode and this season, because the whole season basically is like a love letter to Prue and how much she's missed. And really great job this episode, for her loss. We also get the introduction to their younger half-sister, Paige Matthews, played by the wonderful Rose McGowan. The girls find out that their destiny is still destined from Graham's, and they find out that their mother had an affair with their white lighter and had Paige. They get reunited. The power of three gets ignited again, and we also learn in this episode that when you become a witch in the beginning, you can choose to either be good or bad. So the source is trying to sway her into being evil, but the draw of her sisters makes her good. And I really enjoyed the little scenes with Grams and their mother because they were just fun to watch, and I love whenever they're on the show. The next episode we have is Enter the Demon. In this episode, Phoebe is training with Cole to be the source, and Paige is training with Piper, learning about their magic and stuff like that. And Paige gets a little bit jealous that she wants to be doing what Phoebe's doing, so she accidentally switches bodies with her, which was really fun to see. I like stuff like that as well. I like how Alyssa did a good job portraying Paige, and Rose did a good job portraying Phoebe. It was really interesting to see that, and I really liked this episode. The next one on my list is Size Matters. This is a good episode for a few different reasons. I like the fact that Paige's instincts are included in this, because she gets a weird feeling about this house, and she's saying this house is creepy, and that's her white lighter powers telling her this is a bad house. But we also get the wonderful Robert Englund in this episode playing a villain, which I really love because he's mostly known for playing Freddy Krueger, who is a villain. So the next episode on my list is A Night to Remember. In this episode, we get our first introduction to Glenn, Paige's best friend. And we also get our introduction to evil Paige, because we learned that she was an evil sorceress in her past life. And it's a really good episode. We get Bethany Joy Lenz from One Tree Hill in this episode, and it's really fun to watch. The next episode I have is Brain Drain. In this episode, Piper is still trying to deal with the emotion of losing her sister, and she wants to get rid of magic. So the source puts her in this world where her and her sisters are not witches, and they're regular people who are in a mental institution, and they're not even related. They're just friends. It's a really powerful, emotional episode. Top 10 favorite episodes of the whole series. Holly just did an amazing job this season. Well, Holly does an amazing job always, but really amazing job in this episode. The next episode I have is A Page from the Past. This episode, we get a glimpse into Paige's past when she was a teenager in high school. So Paige's adopted parents died in a car crash, and she always felt guilty because she was in the car crash, and she wanted to know why she survived and they didn't. So Leo set something up to where she could go see what happened, and it puts her back in her body, and she wants to change the past, but then she realizes that she can't, and her parents are still going to die because she realized that she always had that white lighter power. And it's a really emotional episode. I loved seeing Paige interact with her adopted parents, and how she kind of regretted how she acted that last day with them. And it was, like I said, really emotional episode. The next episode on my list is Saving Private Leo. In this episode, we get a little bit of backstory of Leo in the Army, when these two ghosts that are haunting the museum or something like that with the history stuff, find out that he's still alive, or they think they find his grandson, but it's really Leo. And they haunt him, and that's when they find out that it's really Leo. It's a really good episode. I loved seeing him, like his little backstory type of thing, and top 10 for sure. The next episode on my list is Womb Raider. I really like this episode for a few different reasons. We get Phoebe and her pregnancy hormones acting up. The baby's like attacking Paige because Paige didn't like Cole. But it's a really good episode, and I really enjoyed this scene right here in the doctor's office where Piper is like worried about Phoebe and stuff like that. But it's really good episode. Mixed with a little emotion because Phoebe also finds out that the baby was never hers, and it's really sad. So the next episode on my list is Long Live the Queen. In this episode, the girls go to confront Phoebe about Cole and all that stuff, and Phoebe at first chooses Cole and decides to be the queen of the underworld with him. But then in the end of the episode, we get this really emotional, great scene when Phoebe chooses her sisters over Cole and destroys him. Really great episode, really emotional. So yes, one of my favorites. The last episode on my list is the season 4 finale. The last episode on my list is Which Way Now. In this episode, the girls get a visit from the Angel of Destiny, who tells them that they can either continue being charmed or they can go back to being normal people. They also get a visit from an FBI agent who tells them that they need their help to track down a witch to protect them, but they end up helping a witch hunter find a witch to try to kill. And then Phoebe also gets a visit from Cole trying to get out of the underworld or out of purgatory, something like that. Really good episode. I really loved it. I also love the fact that we find out that Piper's pregnant, because we learned Piper was trying to get pregnant this whole season, or some of the season, and it was really fun to find out that she was pregnant because he says, the Angel of Destiny tells her, even if you would have given up your powers, you and Leo, that your destiny is still, I just love the way it was worded, because then Phoebe's the first to realize that Piper's pregnant, and then they all get excited. It's a really good episode, a really great conclusion to season 4. So hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to like, follow, all that other great, amazing stuff. And remember, please tell me what your favorite episodes of season 4 are.